right, guys, we are back with another great episode of Bass Cast Radio with my co-host, Hank, the Bass Geek. What's up, brother?
Not much, man. Still recovering after the party we were at this past weekend called the East Tennessee Fishing Show and Expo. It's heck on a fat man for standing on concrete floors for like 8 and 9 hours a day for 4 straight days. I've got a desk job. I'm not used to that stuff. And then my bass boat, it's padded by water and carpet. So
there you go. Yeah, I'll be honest, Steve. That was another great show. They do an awesome job. You got to hang out with some good friends of yours, which is a pleasure to meet them. So,
yep.
From Third Eye Fishing.
Yep, Third Eye. They've been great to me this year. I kind of discovered them. I don't remember when it was. Late summer last year.
Yeah.
And they make some really good products. They design their own, so they're not, do it mold type stuff that everybody can go out and do. They actually go through the process of creating good stuff and new stuff, original stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with, on the market sort of stuff, but, it was fun hanging out with them, getting to meet them, working their booth, and it's always fun to get to meet my subscribers and followers. Man, that was a blast. I try to, the video will come out probably next Sunday.
Woohoo!
But I do a little, basically I do a little show shout out. So I put everybody that comes by that wants to be on.
Now, I saw you talking to some people, so that was cool. I did see you get one of the guys on a video. So
yeah.
Besides the special guest right here.
Yeah, some of the people, they don't want to be on. They're a little nervous. Got some young kids, signed some autographs, which is weird for me to this day to sign autographs. It's really, really
awesome,
weird.
Dude.
But man, I just got a good feeling about this year. I think it's the season of change.
There you go. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was, like I said, awesome show. I'd like to thank everyone that, helped us, worked out. We shot a bunch of videos of different people. Mm-hmm. I think we uploaded about 5 different product videos. The new stuff is coming out, new stuff to you guys. So we went looking for unique stuff. I mean, like I said, we there was I think that, there was a swimmer that we looked at, pretty different. Some brand new scents that you guys can buy. All the videos are up on the basscast.com right now. We did upload 2 different videos to, I think, Facebook or Instagram or something of that nature, but we try to spread it out. So you guys head on over right now to the basscast.com and check out those videos. But yeah, thanks to Mike Del Visco for hooking us up, getting us in. And we really appreciate them. And Lisa, that's her name, right? That runs the show.
Sheila.
Yes.
Sheila.
So thank you to Sheila. I did say hello. She was running around crazy as always. So yeah, thank you. That it was, the show did kind of suck on a couple different one little thing, but that's not Sheila's fault whatsoever. So I'm not blaming her whatsoever. But COVID kind of snuck up on a lot of guests.
Really?
So, yes.
I hadn't heard about it.
Yeah, there was a couple, not that were at the show, but prior to some of the elites or Major League Fishing pros that weren't able to attend.
Gotcha.
I have not heard any breakouts or anything like that. I feel great. I mean, it's Wednesday and I'm freaking rocking and rolling.
Me too. I feel,
and I was all over the place.
I've recovered, so.
Yeah. And if
I shook so many hands.
If the beer didn't kill him, nothing else will.
That's right. That's probably the reason I'll stay healthy is because the only way I can get through shows is to drink heavily the night after.
Yes, we had a great time. And for me, it's like a prelude, a little bit of exercise to get ready for the Bassmaster Classic, which is 5 football fields of walking.
Yeah, so, which kills me. I'm not going to get to go to.
Sucks, dude. Wish you were there. So we're talking about the Bassmaster Classic and Bassmaster as a whole. Tonight, Bryan New is on the show with us. We're going to recap his inaugural Bassmaster Elite season. Talk about 2022 and what you guys can expect from there. Talk about some new sponsorship. And we're going to continue in our little series, top 3 winter baits and why. That's pretty cool what we've been doing there, getting different perspectives from different anglers from different parts of the United States. And as you guys know, Major League Fishing kicks off this weekend, guys. I think it's the Pro Series or something of that nature, Toyota Series, one of them. That kicks off this weekend. And then, like you said last week when we talked to names slipping my mind already. We got the NPFL getting ready to kick off.
Yep. John Soka.
No, you talked to Soka. You
right.
talked to Soka.
I'm
getting ready to plug that too.
They're all running together.
Patrick Walters. We had Patrick Walters on last week because we talked to him about the NPFL. We talked to him about the big month coming up in February, which, guys, February is next week. So NPFL, Bassmaster, NPFL Classic, bam, bam, bam. You know, it's going to be a heck of a year for him. So it's a lot happening. So, guys, I'll drop the mic here. Geek is doing his Monday Night Lives. Tell them what they can expect and where it's going to be.
So Monday Night Lives, you know, it's just a fly by the seat of our pants live stream. You know, it's for the most part, it's going to be every other week because unfortunately I have a day job. So I do work swing shifts. And so, you know, it affects it, but we're going to do it every other week. If we can get 3 in there, we'll get 3 in there some weeks. But it's really just kind of a fly by the seat of our pants. We let the audience ask a ton of questions. And in between audience questions, we fill in the blank with a lot of things like this or that, you know, which is, would you rather use this or would you rather use that? Would you keep or cull? You know, shout out to my boy Tackle Junkie who's never ate biscuits and gravy. What the double H hockey stick? Yeah, what is that? And so, I asked Mr. Sokup if he keep or cold biscuit and gravy. And, of course, he's a Southern boy, so, yeah, he kept it. We'll do a lot of goofy things like that.
It was a great show. I watched it.
I had a blast. I try to have a blast. I try to really be, just over the top most of the time, but not scare some of the guests. You know, if I was over the top like I was the show before with my 2 buddies, Debo's Fishing and Tackle Junkie, John might have ran away crying. But we have fun.
So guys, make sure you check it out. We are uploading the podcast Bass Geek to Spreaker, and we're going to have it on it'll be on Outdoor Sessions Radio, and we'll have it on many other platforms in the weeks ahead. So we got 2 shows going up really, really soon. We're going to be dropping them every Tuesday, recording on Monday. And you guys know we drop our shows on Thursday and record on Wednesday. So, and we got Warren Evans, who is kicking it into gear this year. So it's a lot going on right here at the basscast.com and Basscast Radio. So glad you guys come along. I have a special announcement. Can't make it tonight, but we got a brand new sponsor of Bass Cast Radio here really, really soon. We'll be dropping it for you guys. We're excited about them. So thank you to them right now. You guys will hear more about them in the weeks ahead. So we're going to take a quick break and be right back with Bassmaster Elite Angler, Mr. Bryan New. All right, guys, we are back with Bassmaster Elite Angler, Mr. Bryan New. What's up, brother?
Not much, man. Just been trying to get a little bit of a break. We've been wide open, trying to get everything ready for the season. I've got to go. I got to, a few more things I got to do tomorrow before I get on the road.
Yeah.
I gotta go work boat show tomorrow, and then I'm getting on the road to go to Toho for the Eastern or the Southern Open.
Heck yeah. Season. Here we are right here already on top of us, man. Guys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We basically got 3 back-to-back in Florida. We got the Open at Toho. The following week we have the Elite, the first Elite of the year at St. John's.
Yeah.
And then we go straight to the Harris Chain for another elite.
Not a bad time of year to be spending in Florida.
I love Florida. I love Florida, man.
Yeah.
It's that time of the year. It's been extremely good to me.
I mean, guys, if you guys don't know Bryan, you're missing out on one heck of an awesome dude. I had the wonderful opportunity of meeting him with a former sponsor. Can I bring him up?
Yeah, sure.
Shane's Baits, guys. I got to meet him with them when they were, the umbrella rig was so daggone big. And he was helping promote that. And we were bringing up, it's been a long time, man. A lot's happened for you.
It has, man. It, on one hand, it seems like it's took forever. And on the other hand, it seems like it just happened so quick. And, but time flies. Time flies.
It does.
It does.
But we all, you're still a young dude. What are you, like 30?
Yeah, 31.
Oh, that's a trick. That's a trick question. Right there, I think.
Yeah, I'll be 32 in February, so I'm not far off.
So you've taken baby steps, really, and sometimes it's good. We don't. A lot of people want to rush and rush right into it, but you paid your dues. You took baby steps. You had your first inaugural season, and you won your first ever event, dude. And you won.
Yeah, I did. It's it was baby steps, but honestly, it was just the path that had to work for me. I financially, I couldn't afford to, go to the top level. And 2019 was kind of a turning point. I had an extremely good year, won a lot of big tournaments, and financially, helped out. And like I was all in. I was going to fish the FLW tour, and that got turned upside down, and I decided the best option for me was to go fish the opens to try to qualify for the elites. And luckily I won that first open at Toho, where I'm going next week.
That's been good to you.
It has. Like we want to achieve our goal tomorrow, but in reality, it doesn't happen like that. You have to, you learn along the way. Every setback is not a setback. It's really a learning experience. Yes. You think failure is failure, but it's really not. It's preparing you for situations that you're going to come into in the future.
That is very true. Guys, by the way, when me and Bryan talked the other day, you're still working your regular job, man.
Yeah, obviously not full time, but
full time.
But like when we have a long break or something, I'll be at work or during the off season as well. And we recently moved back to Saluda, South Carolina, where my wife is from. As soon as the season was over last year, so in August, and so it's like 2.5 hours from Lake Wiley, where I'm from. Obviously I had to get a new job, but I love my guys over at Sosby Pavement Marking. Actually went and hung out with those guys the other day. They helped me change the torque converter in my truck. And but now in my off season and downtime, which don't really have any downtime, but I'm working for JRA Exterminating, local company down here out of Saluda and the surrounding areas.
I guess what I'm trying to paint this picture for everybody, guys, Bryan has done really well in the past few years, but still works the job, guys. This thing's tougher than what you guys really, think. And, a lot of the guys self-employed, they have their own business.
Yep.
And they still work a regular job. And that's one of the cool things about the basscast.com. That's what I started doing. I wasn't really concentrating on the elite anglers. There's a lot of websites out there like that. I want to concentrate on the Bryan news, the guys who are working their way up through it, like the Jeff Lugers, the Jeff Freemans. They're right here in Virginia. Went to the Bassmaster Classic a few years ago, maybe a lot longer than a few years ago now. Good God, time flies.
We're getting old, man. We're getting old.
Hey, I turned 49 this year, man.
You got one more year, and then you're real old.
Yeah,
not really, but
Brian,
I remember when 50 was old.
Brian, the AARP keeps showing up in my Facebook feed. And I'm like, dang it, this sucks.
Oh gosh, don't make me laugh.
At least we'll get discount coffee here real soon.
Yes,
me and
we will.
Brian will
That's
get
right.
discount coffee soon.
That's right.
So talk to us about the inaugural year, man. You know, there's still some highs, there were some lows, and, you know, break us down with, you know, some of your takeaways from your first Bassmaster Elite ever season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like it started out pretty good.
Yeah, we
with the
started on
win,
a
but,
high top.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
It was like,
I mean,
hello, everybody. Brian New here.
no, I mean, you know, it was truly a blessing of a year. I mean, you know, made a pretty good living. Got a lot of exposure, learned a lot of stuff, went to some places I've never really been. And you know, had a few bad tournaments. You know, it sucks, but hey, overall I still had a good year. I mean, at the end of the day, like it's really all about making a living. And I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to win every tournament, this and that, but and I guess selfish goals, yeah, we want to win every tournament, but realistic goals is to make a living. I mean, you know, I try not to be greedy. I mean, I'm sure I am at times, but you know, I guess that's just human nature. But you know, the true blessing is to be able to make a living doing something you truly love, and you know, I've been very fortunate enough to do so. You know, for even though last year was my first year on the elites, like I made a true living fishing for a handful of years, and especially to do it on the lower level, like that was a true blessing in itself. But
Oh, yeah.
like I said, yeah, I mean, I would love to win every tournament, but realistically, the number one goal is to make a living and, you know, be able to, you know, provide for my family doing what I love, and you know, be able to set a good example and give back, you know. Like, I mean, I'm sure I don't do as good as I probably should, but that's what life's all about. I mean, you get these blessings, you get you know, every blessing in your life. Yeah, it's for you, but you need to take that blessing and give it back.
Yeah.
Give back through it, whether it's just setting a good example, whether it's helping somebody in need, you know, just, you know, doing good things. I mean, that's what life's all about. It really is. I mean, catching bass is fun and but if you can't set an example and if it's all about you, no matter what you're doing, if it's all about you, you're doing it the wrong way.
Got that right.
Yep.
$246,981 will help you do some of that.
It does.
Guys, he had
a lot of bills.
It does. Two first place finishes, 4 top 10s, top 20 finishes 6. Now this is overall. Top 30 finishes 9, and 13 times in the money out of 18 events. Pretty daggone good year, brother.
Good percentage.
Not bad. Not bad. You know, that open 2 years ago in 2020 was the very first Bassmaster event I've ever fished, and man, it's just like going to a home you've never been to. It's just a completely different platform than I've ever been a part of. And I mean, honestly, it's a true honor just to be a part of the Bassmaster family. Great people, and you know, they do a great job at what they do. I mean, your family, everybody there makes you feel like family.
You started off the year, like we said, with a bang, and then you kind of had you did the smallmouth series in New York. What's your takeaway from that, man? It kind of kicked your butt a little bit, brother. You had a 59th finish in Plattsburgh, New York, and then in Waddington, New York, you had a 67th place finish.
So Plattsburgh, I mean, on paper, yeah. I mean, I shouldn't say on paper. I mean, yeah, I did pretty bad. But I was 1 minute late the first day, and that cost me making the cut.
Wow, dude.
So I mean, it cost me $10,000. It also cost me Rookie of the Year, and but hey, I shouldn't have been a minute late. That's part of it. I'm not blaming anybody other than myself. But honestly, like I caught a fish on my last cast. I mean, it was a little bitty one. I mean, it didn't help me, but like it swallowed my hook. So instead of just taking it off or just reeling my bait in and rolling, like it took me a minute to get it off. And like I'm rushing and I was a minute late. So cost me a lot of money. And but honestly, Texas is the one that did it. I mean,
Texas, you had a 34th place finish at Texas.
Well, like at the Sabine, that's the biggest garbage hole in the entire country. I don't care if I ever see that place again. I mean, seriously, it is. It's got bass. I'm not saying that we don't need tournaments like that, but I mean, because as a viewer, it is a cool tournament to watch, I guess, somewhat, but it was
my bad. I didn't scroll down far enough to that 79th.
You were looking at the opens.
Yes, I was. Yeah, I didn't scroll down far enough to see that Bassmaster Lee Sabine River, Sabine, however they want to say it.
Yeah, garbage hole.
Garbage hole.
What? Go ahead.
What was your takeaways from like I said, you start off the year on a high, kind of finish a little bit on a lull. Looking back on your inaugural year now, what's some of the stuff that you did that's going to help you this year? I mean, you've had some off-season time to think about the season, and like you said, the mistake for being a minute late. I mean, was there you should have swung and you swung? I mean,
I've only been late 2 times in my life, and the first time, it wasn't my fault. I mean, my trim motor went out. And I come back. I think I was 4 minutes late, but I still make the top 10. I actually finished 6th in that event.
Wow.
So take that 4-minute penalty away, I would have finished 2nd. But so once again, it cost me a lot of money. But the first time wasn't my fault. The second time, it was, and I didn't have a good day. I mean, I knew I was just pushing. I was pushing, and I just pushed just a little bit too hard. And but no, I mean, this is the longest off season I've ever had. Because I didn't have any tournaments this fall, and I had so much going on from the move to a new job, and just I've never really had the to work to on the the business side of fishing like I did this fall. And so I'm ready to get back fishing. I'm extremely excited. I love our schedule. I mean, every tournament on the schedule I'm looking forward to, except for Lake Fork. But we are going a little bit later this year, so it should be better. I mean, I know they cracked them. They're going to crack them there every time, but it was just, man, in the full-blown spawn, there's so many, tourists there fishing, and just, and I'm not saying they don't have the right to be there, but it's just hard to deal with when you're trying to make a living, and you've got 500 guys on the lake. Just, I shouldn't say in your way, but I mean, they're kind of in your way.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't think I'm like, making
people gotta understand you're making a living there, and a lot of people are pretty understandable and be like, hey, I'm here to make a living. This is how I feed my family. And I know some of them could be a weekender or something like that there for a tournament, but a lot of them do understand. But then you got some it's like you've seen some tournaments where you've heard some bad words said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I mean, like I said, they have every right to be there, and for the most part, they're a lot of them. I mean, at least a good amount of them are very respectful. They kind of get out of your way, but it's not that they got out of your way. It's the
So
extra
let's talk about that, man.
Honestly, it's the pressure that they're putting on the lake.
Yes. So what was it like dealing with all that, man? Like I said, you had a whole lot of things that you weren't really used to. I mean, you're going into events where you're leading and, you got people trailing you and riding behind you. And who's this Bryan new kid? And, who's this rookie that we've never heard of? It's leading this Bassmaster Elite event. That's a whole lot of pressure.
I mean,
dude.
at the end of I mean, it's really not. I mean, it really ain't, because it's just another fishing tournament. Might be the biggest fishing tournament in the world, but it's just another fishing tournament.
It's another fishing tournament with $50,000 at the end of that thing. It ain't like it's a little $1,000 payout for a weekend. I mean, it's $50,000 attached to this thing. That's what I'm.
Yes,
$50,000. My last job, that was 2 years' salary was $50,000.
I know all about it.
I mean, 2 years' salary was $50,000, working 7 days a week.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
so how'd you handle all that, man?
Oh, I mean, got up every morning, put my pants on the same way I always have.
Aspect of it. It's got to be a mental aspect of it too for you, Bryan. I know you a little bit better than that.
I mean, not really. I mean, and this is like 100% honesty. Ever since I met my wife, like before we got married, when I met her, like things just went perfect in my life. I've got a better outlook on life. When things go wrong, it doesn't bother me. I don't get worried about it. And
awesome,
typically 80% of the time I don't get mad. And, because I know no matter what, if you work hard, live right and try to do the best, like it's going to work out. You're going to be fine. May not be exactly what you want it to be, but everything's still going to work out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, I try to do right. I try to work hard. And, if I don't catch bass, if I zero every tournament this year, I'm still going to be all right. I might not be on Elite Series next year, but I'm going to be all right. That's not really my plan, but I know God's plan's better than mine. So I'm going to trust that. And, in the meantime, I'm going to do everything I can to do my job.
There you go.
That's all you can do.
What was your biggest takeaway from last year, man? Something you learned, man.
I got a big blue trophy. No,
other than a trophy.
That was a big takeaway.
That was a big trophy, and I got my photo taken beside it. And that's pretty freaking cool.
Man, I guess honestly, like last year, it never was on my mind because I was a newcomer, and I was guaranteed 2 years. So at this point, like, this is my second year. I'm fixing to start my second year. So you just you've got to perform to be able to keep your position or you get kicked out. And, I mean, I did well enough last year. Like I'd have to do really bad. I don't know that I could get kicked out for next year. But the following year, every year you got to perform because eventually you're probably going to have a bad year. And, I don't want to get eliminated. Well,
I understand that.
Once again, I know everything's going to be all right, but, I still got to do everything I can do to make sure I don't get kicked out.
All right, let's fast forward. We got an event coming up, man, other than the Bassmaster Elite events, and you traveling for the first Southern Open called the Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half from my house. Got a lot of experience on Hartwell. Some good, some bad. Hartwell was my biggest hated lake in the country for a while. And kind of, I got over that. I didn't have a bad open there in 2020. It wasn't great, but I learned a lot. Of course, that was in the fall. But, I learned how I need to approach it. Or I shouldn't say I learned. I can I just got a better feel for it now. I spent a lot of time over there this fall, up until the last day before the cutoff.
Yep.
I'm extremely excited about the Classic. It's going to change somebody's life. And, I want to do everything I can for it to be mine. I got a big blue one. I want to get a big gold one.
There you go. That's what I'm talking. That would be awesome as crab, dude. First inaugural season, win a tournament. Classic, Bassmaster Classic. Win if this would be your first one too, wouldn't it? Second. That's right.
Basically the first, because I broke my hand the first day of practice last year.
That's right.
I mean, I was there, but I wasn't all the way there.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
My wife tells me that all the time. I'm not all the way there, but she says a lot of things.
I forgot about that.
Mine does too.
I had forgotten all about that, dude.
Yeah, but hey, once again, everything's all right. I got a 10 grand check for showing up, so that's pretty cool.
Can't beat that.
Those are hard to come by. No, you can't.
So what do you think is going to take to win it this year? What do you think the bite's going to be, man? I mean, I know we've talked to Patrick Walters. We've talked to some other people. The lake fluctuates a lot. We learned.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it's going to be? You ain't got to tell us what you're going to do, but what's your thoughts on the whole thing?
I mean, there's a lot. I think there's 5 or 6 ways that it could be won. It's just according to what the weather does, to what the water does.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been getting a lot of snow and rain here recently. The water level dropped a fair amount. Now it come back. I think it dropped like 4 foot. And I think it's come back up 3. Who knows what's going to happen in the next month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And, whatever it is, a month or so, something like that.
Yeah, it's we're right at a little over a month.
Yep.
Yeah. So
how many pounds is it gonna take to win
it? 30, 45, that'd be 15 a day. If you get 15 a day, you're gonna be knocking on the door. I think it'll probably take a little bit more than that. Probably take 16 and a half a day.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? That's 48, 49 and a half, right at 50 pounds, probably.
Wow. You think we're going to see that?
I mean, that's kind of my guess. Who knows?
Do you think we're going to see that big Livingston lures crankbait play a difference? Or not necessarily Livingston, but a crankbait itself play a big difference like it did for Randy? Did Randy win there? And then you had who was the other one?
Randy won on Gunnersville.
That's right. He won in Gunnersville. What I was thinking was Casey Ashley.
Yeah, Casey won on a Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Fish head spin. And then Jordan Lee won mostly on a wacky rig.
Yeah.
But see, I mean, right there, I mean, there's 2 completely different.
Oh, yes. Definitely styles.
2 completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Casey won an FLW event there around the same time, maybe 2014, and he won Fish and Brush. I mean, there's so many different ways that it can be won. I mean, right there's 3 major events around the same time frame and all won 3 different ways. So there's going to be a lot of different things going on. It's just what the weather does, who's got the best game plan. I've got what I feel like the way I fish is the best game plan. I just got to find, I got to find a couple more things to go with what I've got, and and make the right decisions at the right time.
So are you saying what you got to find is a couple of good kicker areas? Is that what you're saying to us?
I mean, mainly like good fallback stuff.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's kind of, and who knows? Heck, I might not ever get a bite, but I like what I've got. I like my game plan.
All right.
I like my game plan. I mean,
should our followers pick you on fantasy fishing?
Hey, that's completely up to y'all. I've got a lot of experience there. I'm excited about it. I could zero. I could win. I could finish second. Who knows?
He's optimistic as hell, guys.
Oh.
I think he's sandbagging us a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too.
I see the smile. I see the eyes, man. I believe he's pretty happy.
No, I mean, I am excited. I am. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to win by any means, but I've got just as good a chance as anybody else.
Right.
I don't think anybody's worked any harder at it than I have. So, I just got to get the right opportunities.
Well, 2022 is
There you
here,
go.
guys. Like you said earlier, he is fishing the Southern Opens, the Bassmaster Elite Series. This is my final. Well, I got one more question, but this is my final tournament question. What's one event you're really looking forward to this year? Do you think, this is going to be Bryan News? I ain't gonna say a win, but it fishes your strengths in a way you like to fish, and you're like, I can't wait to get there.
Harris Chain,
Okay.
Classic, and Santee. I know that's 3, but those are 3 that I'm extremely excited about.
Why?
I mean, Harris Chain is right up, that's my style of fishing. I mean, offshore grass, that's what I love. It's in Florida. It's, I don't have a lot of experience there at all. Really, I fished there one time as a co-angler, and I went for, 2 days pre-practice right before the off limits a few weeks ago. I'm excited to get there. Santee, it's an hour and a half from my house. I've done really well there. I understand it. It's got great big giant ones. Harris Chain's got great big giant ones. And Hartwell, it's the Classic, dude.
Oh yeah, we know why Hartwell.
We just went over that. So
Classic.
Those are 3 that I'm extremely excited for.
Awesome. My final question, we're gonna let Bass Geek ask one. What are your top 3 winter baits and why? Question we've been asking everybody all month long, talking about winter fishing. It's still freaking cold up here. Nights cold day 2.
It's gonna be real cold Saturday.
Real cold.
Yeah, so definitely a jig, and when I say jig, like I always have 2 or 3 on. Like I use a greenfish tackle, all-purpose jig, and that's kind of my standard. Brush, docks, it really been everything. And then the new square rubber jig, it's same head and everything, but it's square rubber, but it's not the old school just straight brown.
Right.
You've got the good colors like you do in silicone, and so that's for a big profile or stained water, or just if I want to fish super slow, that's kind of when I go to that. And then my new BLD jig, Bad Little Dude, like that's kind of like if it's super tough, it's really clear, slick, calm outside. You just kind of need to get a bite. Spotted bass, smallmouth, obviously largemouth as well, but that's kind of, when it's kind of like my shaky head that I still feel like I got a really good chance of catching a big one on.
Right.
So that's 3 different baits, but basically a jig. But like I said, I always have those 3 on. You got to have some kind of crankbait. Like a Spro Little John MD is kind of one of my favorite ones. The rock crawler.
Oh yeah.
I like the Little John MD better than the rock crawler. They're both great for sure. And anytime I'm doing that kind of fishing, I always have 3 or 4 on, and those are 2 that I'm definitely going to have. And probably I'm stuck between like a single swim bait, like a Spro a Zoom Z swim, or a Spro McStick jerk bait. Any jerk, whatever your favorite jerk bait is.
All right, guys.
So we're gonna go with those 4 instead of 3.
Okay. Bryan's going the extra mile. Geek, what you got for him?
Full winter arsenal right there. So, man, you're coming to one of my home lakes. My 2 home lakes are South Holston Reservoir and Cherokee Reservoir. So, what time? First off, what time of year are you coming up here for that? What day is that one?
Well, I know that we go to the Classic. We got a few days off. Then we go to Santee. Got a few days off, and then I go to Cherokee. So whatever that is, maybe. Let's see, the Classic. What? First week of March? Second week of March?
First week of March. Because I come back and I have a tournament right after that.
So it might be the it's either the last week of March or the first week of April. One of the two.
Should be a pretty good time.
Yeah, I'm looking.
So what do you
forward to
think
it.
about Cherokee, man? You ever get to fish it?
I fished a BFL regional as a co-angler years ago. I mean, I was there, but don't really count because I don't even remember anything. I didn't do good. But I fished the Bass Open there in 2020, and I didn't do good. I mean, I learned a lot. I found a lot of good stuff. I didn't make the right adjustments when I needed to, and I was bad rotation. But I'm excited about it. A good friend of mine, Todd Goad with Pulse Fish Lures. He lives there locally. And, I'm going to be staying at his house. We're going to have a good time. We're going to eat good. And, we're going to have a tournament. And hopefully we catch them. I'm looking forward to it.
When you go down there, do you target the smallmouth most time, or you try to go upriver and look for those greens?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to do. I mean, I'm going to do it all in practice. Who knows?
Yeah. Whatever works best. After that.
Yeah, that's right. I like catching smallmouth. I mean, I like catching all bass, but anytime I get the opportunity to catch smallmouth, I kind of rather do that. But at the same time, I'd rather win the tournament. So whatever I feel like is the best recipe that week, and with what I find and what I know is what I'm going to do. Definitely going to sample a little bit of everything in practice.
Yep. There we go.
All right, man.
Bryan, man. Wish you the best of luck in 2022. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for talking with us. Thank you for all the great information.
Enjoyed it, man.
Come off a heck of a season. I think 2022 is going to be another great season for you. We're excited to see you up on the stage. We got boat wrapped. We got jerseys made. We got all that stuff done this year.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I think last year? Like, oh, my God. I just got a brand new sponsor and I just won this tournament. They're not even on the jersey.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It was, but hey, it all works out. What I told you earlier, it always works out.
Whirlwind.
It does. A lot of hard work, man.
I know that's right. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we really appreciate Bryan New for coming on and talking with us tonight. Bassmaster Elite Angler. Make sure you guys give him a follow on Instagram, Bryan New Fishing, Facebook. Like I said, just old country Southern boy, loves bass fishing, worked his way up through the ranks, and
still works.
And you guys see and saw and heard, still got a job, works for an exterminating company during the while that he's off, and bass fishes the rest of the time. And he's heading to Florida. He'll kick off the 2022 season and get the ball rolling on that. So wish him the best of luck this year. We are looking at doing some more stuff with him in the weeks ahead. So thank you to him. Guys, Throne Asbury is going to be with us next week. He's gonna come on, tell you guys his story, talk to you guys about what he has going on in his life right now. He is still fishing. I met Throne and we did a podcast long before Geek. He was pretty daggone good in the college rankings, and then he kind of went into the marketing side of fishing, and that's what he wanted to go into the business side of it and work with products and work with other, people who creating new products. So he's got something new he's going to tell us all about and introduce us to that. He's already locked in for next week. It's pretty Bass Geek, man. We're cranking it, man. It's pretty awesome when people reaching out to us, and I'm not even have to I understand there's going to be a certain time of year we're going to have to beg. Oh yeah. But it's pretty awesome to be able to have guests on and not even have to think about it. Oh, next guest. Yep. And guys,
we were just talking about, hopefully we've even got the next guest.
Yes.
Talking about it. So maybe we can get that squared away. That'll be a good time.
So if you'd like to be a guest on the show, you don't even got to be, a bass fishing, major league fishing, Bassmaster Elite Angler. You just got to have a good story.
There you go.
And we'd love to have you on. Like to tell others about your story. So come on, hit us up on the basscast.com, Facebook, Instagram, social media. media@thebasscast.com, and we'll get you on an episode. But dude, season's about ready to kick off, guys. MPFL coming up, Bassmaster opens. We're going to be having some jam-packed shows with some awesome guests from all over the big, wide United States. We're excited to bring them to you, and hopefully you get to learn something from them. So, excuse me. If you guys want to be on Geeks Monday night,
give me a shout.
Give him a shout. And, he's looking for probably some Bassmaster anglers and some major league.
Yeah, I'd like to have some, some across the board, some major leaguers, some Bassmasters, some YouTubers, some Instagrammers, some companies. We want to put a face to some of these awesome companies out there. Do some product talking
but you
about.
Better be ready to answer some questions, because Bass Geeks people want to know. That's it.
I don't have to come up with the questions. No. That's a good thing. I know. I just sit there and let them roll. What do you want, folks? I told Suckup, I said, that's the one thing I learned a long time ago about doing YouTube live streams. If you don't let them ask questions, they just start talking to each other, answering themselves, and ignoring what we're talking about.
There you go. So, guys, head on over, follow Bass Geeks channel, and like I said, stay tuned. We're going to have him up on Outdoor Obsessions Radio as well. So, guys, have a great night. Thank you all for listening. More great shows ahead, and we're looking forward to bringing you guys some awesome guests. Have a great night, everyone.